While one of our vets already has a rumored replacement floating around, the face of the franchise is officially under fire, and he needs to respond fast. And right in the middle of it all, there's a wild card that could send the Chiefs into full panic mode. Could this be the move that finally puts us over the top? Nothing's confirmed yet, but everything's about to erupt. You know that calm right before a storm hits? Yeah, that. Khalil Mack's name is starting to swirl behind the scenes again, and not for the reasons fans were hoping. Even though the veteran was kept on the roster and seemed fired up to be back, the narrative around him is already shifting across the NFL. In a league that doesn't care about age or past glories, the Chargers are now being linked to a possible heir to number 52, and it's happening way faster than anyone expected. Dennis Sutton, remember that name. In a bold draft prediction from Sayer Benninger of NFL Spin Zone, the Chargers are projected to take the Penn State edge rusher in the first round of the 2026 draft. Sounds early to be talking about this, but there's a strategy behind it. The truth is, this defense still leans heavily on edge pressure, and with Joey Bosa gone, it's impossible to ignore that Mack is near the end. Dennis Sutton's been skyrocketing ever since he landed with the Nittany Lions. With Abdul Carter off to the Giants, the spotlight is now wide open for him to shine. He's expected to have a breakout season, and they could send his draft stock through the roof, maybe even out of LA's reach. If the Chargers are serious about grooming him as Mack's replacement, they'll need to keep tabs on his every move in 2025. The wild part? This early buzz exposes a deep dilemma in the front office. Hold on to productive veterans or start building the next generation now. And here's the tricky part. If Mack balls out in 2025, fans will push hard for a contract extension, for leadership, for continuity. But if his play dips or he gets hurt, the calls for a new defensive identity will hit full volume. And that's when Dennis Sutton could step right into the spotlight. So what about you, Boat fam? Would you ride with Mack one more season, knowing the age and injury risks? Or would you start laying the groundwork for someone like Dennis Sutton? The front office seems to have made up its mind. While the fans live in the now, they're already planning for 2 years down the road. And the message is loud and clear. The Chargers are thinking ahead because the next big shift could hit faster than anyone expects. There's no way around it. Justin Herbert is right in the eye of the storm. And this time, it's not about talent, stats, or potential. This is about reputation, about that contract, and most of all, about wins. The loss to the Texans in the playoffs wasn't just a bad game. It was a wake-up call. Herbert threw 4 interceptions in one single do-or-die moment, more than he had the entire regular season. And there's no spin in that. Sure, his regular season numbers were solid, but so what? When it mattered most, the Chargers franchise QB fell apart. Again.
Yeah, he's 27. Physically and mentally, he's supposed to be entering his prime. But how much longer can we keep saying he's still developing? The whispers of overrated and overpaid are getting louder. And if 2025 isn't a statement year, those whispers could turn into full-blown shouts, even from our own fan base. And here's the thing, it's not just about protecting the football anymore. Herbert's shown he can avoid turnovers. The real pressure now, being aggressive, being surgical when it matters, finishing in the red zone, putting up more touchdowns. That's the difference between a good QB and one who drags a team to the Super Bowl. The hard truth, he hasn't been that guy the past 2 years. But there's a big difference between panic and pressure. And here's the key. Jim Harbaugh and this new coaching staff know exactly what needs fixing. This offseason was built to support number 10. Mike Williams is back. Ladd McConkey expected to be a big part of the passing game. And the rookie trio, Trey Harris, Keandre Lambert-Smith, and Aronde Gadsden II, could make this WR competition heat up fast. On top of that, the running back room is stacked. Naker Harris, Marion Hampton, and Raheem Sanders all have hands, not just legs, and that could completely reshape this offense. With a more physical run game and pass-catching backs, Herbert could finally exploit mismatches like never before. But here's the bottom line. If he ends the season with 20 to 23 touchdown passes again, it won't be enough. Fans want to see at least 30, like in his early years. More than that, they want clutch moments, third down throws, game-winning drives, the kind of plays that turn a franchise QB into a legend. Chargers fans are tired of seeing glimpses of greatness, only to watch the team collapse late. This is it, Herbert's chance to silence every doubt. With a new playbook, upgraded weapons, and a coaching staff that believes in him, there are no more excuses. 2025 is all or nothing. Either he lifts this team or he goes down with the criticism he swore didn't apply to him. And while we're sweating over Herbert's pressure cooker and the post-Mack plan's already taking shape, there's a wild theory floating around that's got the fan base buzzing. And honestly, it makes a scary amount of sense. What if I told you the Chargers are just one Chiefs player away from becoming legit Super Bowl favorites? And no, it's not Mahomes, believe it or not. The name lighting up NFL forums right now is Chris Jones. Yep, that Chris Jones, Kansas City's interior wrecking ball. The dude who crushes pockets, clogs the middle, and makes every offensive coordinator regret waking up on game day. Now imagine this, him next to Khalil Mack with Tuli Tuipuda cleaning up the edge. That's not a D-line, that's an apocalypse. Now, to be clear, this isn't something that's actually happening yet. But the debate exploded after someone asked if the Chargers could steal just one player from the Chiefs, who would move the needle most? And the shocker, it wasn't Mahomes. Sounds crazy, but the logic tracks. Mahomes is generational, no argument. But plugging him into this Chargers roster doesn't fundamentally shift the team's identity. Chris Jones, though, he'd change everything. He'd elevate this defense to Super Bowl caliber overnight. Think 2022 Eagles level dominance. And look, this Chargers defense already made a big leap in 2024 under Jesse Minter. We're smarter, tougher, more aggressive. But there's still a glaring hole. Nose tackle. With Poona Ford gone, that spot is wide open and still a question mark. If this team's going to struggle anywhere in 2025, it's probably right there. Jones, a 3-time first-team All-Pro, would be the final puzzle piece. And even more than that, he brings swagger. He forces offenses to change their game plans. He keeps coordinators up at night. He makes them scared. So here's the provocation. If just one guy could push the Chargers over the top, would you still pick a QB, or would you grab a defensive monster like Jones? This conversation isn't just off-season nonsense. It hits at something real. The Chargers are close. Really close. And sometimes, all it takes is one game-changing piece. Maybe Chris Jones never suits up in Powder Mile. Maybe it's just fantasy. But this whole discussion cracks open a harsh truth. The Super Bowl isn't as far as it feels. We're one piece away from making it real. 3 different storylines, one common theme. Time's running out for the Chargers. Whether it's finding Mack's successor, demanding Herbert's leap, or dreaming of a Chris Jones-type impact, the message is crystal clear. We can't afford to wait anymore. The window is open. And if this team really wants to level up, every move from here on out has to be razor sharp. But what about you, Bolt fam? What do you think this team really needs to win it all? Drop your take in the comments, because this season is going to be wild.